It's a long car ride back from where we were in California. Now we're in Utah.
Stranger Things never disappoints when it comes to 80s nostalgia. So we're taking a look behind the scenes to find out just how they turned back time and gave us gnarly sets like the Rinkomania and Surfer Boy Pizza. Number 1. The best sets are the ones you can goof around on.
Honestly, this week at the roller rink has been a blast.
The Rinkomania was shot in the Roller King in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Every day at lunch, Millie connects her phone and we just skate around the ring.
Does anyone else think those safety mats just look kind of uncomfortable? Number 2. We're not talking about Eleven's water tank. Not this time. No, we're talking about Steve's dive to the bottom of Love Lake to Watergate.
It was in a big convention center in Atlanta by the airport.
It was shot in a giant tank.
How big do you think it was, guys?
It went roughly 40 feet around and 16 feet down.
Getting to do that sort of stuff is like true movie magic.
Originally, Joe was told he'd have to be a swimmer. There was supposed to be a whole arc in season 1, and he was supposed to show up in a Speedo, so he was like, "Aw, shoot, I have to get in shape." Then they cut it. This swimming plotline made its return for season 4. He could already swim before, though. Number 3. Ah, yes. The only thing worse than prison is snow prison. The scenes set in Russia were actually filmed in Lithuania, in the same city used to film Chernobyl.
We shot in a real prison.
The prison only closed in 2019 after running for over a century.
For a lot of it, I'm running shoeless through the snows of Lithuania.
David Harbour admitted it was very difficult this year. For me, it was a lot of cold weather. It was barefoot in the snow in Lithuania, 20 feet below, and I wasn't eating a lot of food because I was very emaciated this season. And so it was a brutal season on me, physically and emotionally.
So I found my inner wolf, my inner Russian bear.
While it was tough, Harbour found he really loves doing work like this because he feels it provides the audience with a rich experience, allows them catharsis, and says he is very happy to suffer in that way. And before we hop on over to the video store, the plane crash was absolutely ridiculous, and that's exactly what the film crew was going for. When it does an immediate nosedive upon the engine being turned off, that's actually an homage to 80s movies. Planes will glide slowly to the ground without power. Number 4. As abandoned as a blockbuster.
The video store is a very clear and blatant expression of everything that inspires the show.
The video store was shot both interior and exterior. After they abandoned the location, the only thing remaining was their store hours. Unfortunately, those don't seem to be very accurate. They should just say closed. The Palace Arcade from the previous season is right beside the video store, and in a previous life, in the right side up, aka our world, the whole thing was a laundromat. Number 5. Into the rabbit hole we go. We can't say we're surprised. This was filmed in studio. It would be rather ridiculous to scout out a location for it. Of course, all of the vines in Vecna's lair were added in post.
Got a little scraped up, but it was really, really fun.
Number 6. They just can't quite shake this place, huh? Hawkins' lab is back again for season 4, and the Rainbow Room is all decked out with padding. We imagine to protect all the children who are being thrown against walls in these scenes. Emory University's Briarcliff campus in Atlanta, Georgia was used for the lab. Number 7. That feel when you graduate middle school, but your high school is no different. Hawkins High and middle school used the same abandoned school property. While this may seem like a lazy choice, architects of a similar period often build schools similar shapes and designs. Stranger Things is not strapped for cash, so this seems more like an aesthetic choice than a lazy one. For season 4, they painted the track, and we said goodbye to the middle school, now that our youngest characters have entered grade 9. And it looks like the basketball players were having a ton of fun on set, making up handshakes and playing ball on their time off. Number 8. Time to drive 3,000 miles to find a hacker. They were hanging out in Utah at Susie's house.
Actually, we're in Atlanta, but we don't say that.
We're not exactly sure of the address, other than the street number saying 308. And Susie's bedroom was filmed on a soundstage. A mix of practical staging and green screen was used. Probably because that front door is facing a road and they only wanted trees. Probably. Number 9. E.T. Phone Home to Hawkins. Filming for the fictional California location, Lenora Hills, actually took place in New Mexico. That was Millie's favorite location to shoot in. The interior of the Byers home was shot on a soundstage. The exterior was filmed in the Shadow Hills area in Albuquerque. Moving the family to California was in honor of E.T. Lenora High was also shot at El Dorado High School in Albuquerque as well. Number 10. We genuinely didn't think this one was built from scratch. Yes, it's true, the Demogorgon Pit was not a found location.
It serves the function of sort of this gladiatorial arena.
Their challenge was to justify a space with oversized dimensions. It's all bleak, rusted metal with ancient brick and plaster walls. Number 11. Once you strip away the movie magic, the Creel House is almost pretty. The Creel House is called the Claremont House in real life. It is far less spooky when it isn't boarded up and is almost elegant. At one point, it was a bed and breakfast for 16 years, but now it is privately owned. The house was built in 1882 and remains in good condition. The upside-down version of the Creel House is, on the other hand, all fragmented pieces and not CGI. Number 12. Do you think they knew ahead of time this location would come back? They filmed at Stone Mountain Cemetery in Stone Mountain, Georgia. It's the same cemetery they used for Barb's funeral in season 2. Prep for the cemetery took a lot more work than it may seem. Just expect that when you've got stunts involved, that requires rigs. And Sadie's stunt was practiced off location before they moved on in. Number 13. We love the way they've been building up the world in subtle ways. The trailer park was briefly mentioned in season 2 when Nancy and Jonathan said it was a good place to meet with Barb's mother, but didn't make a real appearance until this season. Forest Hills was filmed at a real trailer park in Griffin, Georgia. Number 14. Anybody remember that phone number? While the chain may not be real, Walmart did partner with Stranger Things for some frozen pizzas. Did you manage to snag your own for binge watching? The shots were filmed in Los Lunas, New Mexico, and they also had multiple Surfer Boy pizza vans on site too. But the first van they went with just did not do the trick. While it looked really cool, it just didn't have the space they needed on the inside. So they switched to a VW.
We shot like a stoner thriller comedy, kind of.
Number 15. Not an ideal way to spend a day, but anything for the shot, we suppose. Pennhurst Mental Hospital is located in Atlanta and shot in Georgia. While the building was closed in 1987, it was reopened as a Halloween attraction. Both the interior and exterior of this scene were filmed on location, other than Victor Creel's cell scene, which was filmed in studio.
It was like so fun and like different.
We can always count on Stranger Things to deliver the best 1980s sets. Even Benny's Burgers made a small appearance, but seeing it all boarded up just breaks our little hearts. Did this season get you feeling nostalgic for the 1980s? If you were born in the 90s and beyond, did it make you long to live in the 80s? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for hanging out with us here at The Things.